And speaking of that, June 15th, big deal. Paint a picture. What does that look like, June 15th?
Well, we're right now at 1% positivity. It's been the lowest in the nation. It's been that way for almost 2.5, 3 weeks. We're seeing this blueprint where the vast majority of counties are in orange and yellow, and we're going to move beyond the blueprint on the 15th of June. So just in a number of weeks, and that world looks a lot like the world we entered into before the pandemic. We're not wearing face coverings. We're not, restricted in any way, shape, or form of doing the old things that we used to do, save huge, large-scale indoor convention events like that where we'll use our common sense. But look, our vaccine numbers are still holding. 533,000 shots in the last 48 hours. We're at 32, almost 33 million. If we can keep that going, we're going to hear a lot of horns of enthusiasm because we'll get out the other side.
By June 15th, not wearing face coverings, they're saying in California. People are finally saying enough is enough. I think it's so interesting, too, that they say face covering. It has to be a mask, friends. If you're going to be even remotely, and as you know, look, is there anybody that you've heard that is basically more anti-mask than me and has been all along? There's a handful that are as anti this nonsense as I am, but the point is, if you think that having a loosely draped handkerchief over your mouth is really doing a lot epidemiologically, I just don't even know what to say. This is absurd. Airflow going above it, airflow going below it, spreading out in the air around you. There's no filtration. It's also, people are also, but like I said, it's not only is it so dumb, but there's a lunacy involved here. There's pandemic PTSD. It's real. And why is Gavin Newsom taking this position now, though? Yes. This is important. It's not because Gavin Newsom is such an honorable fellow who understands that he was being a lockdown lunatic for so many months. It's that recall, baby. We all know that Newsom's not long for the governor's mansion if this continues. So what's a good way to get people to stop thinking you're an authoritarian psycho? Putting in place or removing, after having in place, the strictest mandates in the country he should feel like an idiot. He should feel like a fool because he is. He's a fool. They shut down outdoor dining, my friends. After telling people outdoor dining will always be fine, they shut down outdoor dining in California. No benefit from it whatsoever. None. Zero that they can point to. And then, as we know, Gavin Newsom went to French Laundry and did his whole thing. I mean, he's such a perfect politician for California. He's like, I look good in a suit, and I kind of just have this kind of gravelly, breathy thing going on, and a lot of gel in my hair, and I'm just here to tell the great people of California that this is my best angle. Is so. This guy really should be like a soap opera actor, but instead he's Gavin Newsom. I know. It's remarkable to see his fall from grace. It's great, though. It's great. I can't tell you how happy I am that this clown is going through what he's going through right now, because it shows that even in California, which has been overrun by leftist lunacy, there is still some, albeit small, some hope of accountability for bad decision making. Is there any in this White House? Not yet. But people are starting to figure out that there's some funky stuff going on. Andy Slavitt, for example, is out there being asked. He's a senior advisor on COVID response to this White House. And journos are asked. I actually think some of the journos are curious about this because they're now finally able to put it together. Oh, my gosh. Biden and a lot of these senior Democrats, masking really is the MAGA hat for them, for the left. Masking really is a symbol of politics to them. They were ignoring it in the past, or they couldn't bring themselves to believe it. It's very much true. Andy Slavitt asked about this. Play 2.
Now, you're the vaccine guy. You're not the mask guy. But part of getting people vaccinated is to tell them their lives will be different, changed, better if they get the vaccine. There was this Oval Office meeting yesterday with the president and the leaders of Congress. Everyone in this room has been vaccinated. So why were they all wearing masks, and what message does that send?
Well, look, I think people who've been vaccinated are starting to get a little bit impatient with what can I do? Can I go indoors? Can I take masks off, et cetera? And I think the CDC is getting there step by step. So right now you can do pretty much everything outdoors without a mask. You can do everything indoors if you're around vaccinated people without a mask.
So why were they all wearing masks in there yesterday?
Well, I don't think I'm not sure that the president is the average person. I personally think there's a lot of protections around the president. Why does he need lots of Secret Service agents? Why do they, belt and suspender everything with the president? Because he's a very important person. And I think you shouldn't take your mark just by what you see in the Oval Office. I think most people, if you're indoors around other people that are vaccinated, the CDC says it's okay. And I think you should listen to the CDC on that.
What the heck was that? Did you hear this, moron? I mean, I'm playing the audio for you so you can hear yourself. Well, the president has Secret Service protection, so. Yeah, that's to stop lunatics from trying to assassinate the president. It has nothing to do with COVID, right? The Secret Service is not trying to karate chop viral particles in the air. They're not carrying around submachine guns because of the possibility of some spittle from an aide, becoming aerosolized and finding its way into Biden's, nasal pharyngeal, whatever you call it. Nasopharynx, I believe. Yeah, one has nothing to do with the other, but he doesn't have an answer because you know what the real answer is? Because I think Biden himself might be suffering from some degree of pandemic PTSD. I think for a lot of people, the face covering was a security blanket for them. And it was a symbol to them. And they could wear this thing and think, I'm a good, smart person who listens to the science. And that was, after a while, not only something that they needed, but they enjoyed. I'm just going to say it. I think there are libs out there who enjoy this craziness. They like, not the pandemic, but they like mask conformity. It's a show of mass solidarity with government mandates and policy. If we can get everybody to wear masks, we can get everybody to lessen their CO2 footprint. If we can get everybody to wear masks, we can get everybody to hand in their firearms. Or else. Right? Collective action. The moral equivalent of war. Take it all the way back to the origins, the earliest days of mass propaganda in America with the advent of, radio in World War I. And you have a very clear connection in the messaging of the moral equivalent of war. Everyone has to move together and do what the state says, and we're all in this, and don't be questioning, don't be an outsider. There's a lot of comfort, far too much of it, among Democrats on this issue. And I think they've really acclimated themselves to a world in which the government can restrict your physical comfort and freedom in whatever way it deems necessary, just based upon the fact that you're a human being who needs oxygen. And that's why Andy Slavitt, who's supposed to be an expert on what's going on with COVID response and the vaccine specifically, bumbles like a moron on national TV when he's asked, why is old man Biden vaccinated, surrounded with the vaccinated, and still wearing a mask indoors? Why is he doing it? Well, it's the same answers you get when they ask, why is old man Biden wearing a mask outside, even though he's vaccinated? The chance of him getting COVID and it being a severe event, even if he were to get it, is something that should be ignored. But he won't do it because it was never about listening to the science. It was always about controlling you. Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.